It was a quiet evening in Austin, Texas, when Claire Donovan, the wife of the vice president of the Iron Hawks Motorcycle Club, pulled into the grocery store parking lot. She had come to pick up a few essentials after a long day, unaware of the eyes watching her from across the lot. As she stepped out of her car, a group of thugs emerged from the shadows, surrounding her. Their demands were simple but menacing: her purse, her phone, and anything of value they could take. Claire tried to back away, but one of them shoved her to the ground, leaving her shocked and trembling. Inside the store, security cameras silently captured the entire assault, and a bystander quickly dialed 911. By the time authorities arrived, the attackers had disappeared into the night. Claire, physically unharmed but emotionally shaken, gave a detailed description of her assailants. She knew, however, that the Iron Hawks didn't rely solely on the police. News of the attack reached the club almost immediately, and tension filled the dimly lit clubhouse. Members were furious. This was more than a random act of violence, it was a personal attack on one of their own. Marcus Donovan, a veteran biker known for his calculated mind and unshakable loyalty, knew that the response had to be swift, precise, and undeniable. The club would act, but with strategy and discipline. Marcus Donovan called an emergency meeting with his closest lieutenants in the dimly lit Iron Hawks clubhouse. The room was tense, filled with the low hum of motorcycles parked outside and the murmurs of members waiting for instructions. Maps, phone records, and recent crime reports were spread across the table. "This wasn't random," Marcus said, his voice calm but edged with steel. "They targeted Claire because they thought they could intimidate us. They were wrong." The club quickly organized into two teams. One team would work discreetly with law enforcement to track leads, while the other prepared to investigate the assailants on the ground. Surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts, and local intelligence helped them narrow the suspects to a small gang operating on the outskirts of Austin. Every step was calculated. The Iron Hawks were not impulsive, they dealt in precision. Meanwhile, Claire stayed at home, surrounded by trusted club members who ensured she was never alone. Though physically safe, the psychological toll was evident. Marcus emphasized that her well-being and dignity were paramount, and the club's focus remained on protecting her while sending a clear message to anyone considering threatening the family. Hours of careful planning followed, blending strategy, discipline, and a reputation that few dared to challenge. When the moment came, the Iron Hawks would act decisively. Under the cover of darkness, the Iron Hawks team approached the gang's hideout on the outskirts of Austin. The night air was thick with tension, engines quietly rumbling in the distance as bikers took their positions, blocking every possible exit. Marcus Donovan led the operation, his calm demeanor belying the intensity of the moment. Every movement was calculated, every member knew their role. The goal was clear: confrontation if necessary, but violence only as a last resort. Inside the hideout, the thugs were caught off guard. Panic rippled through their ranks as the presence of the Iron Hawks became undeniable. Marcus stepped forward, his voice steady and authoritative, making it clear that surrendering peacefully was their best option. The gang, realizing they had underestimated their targets, hesitated, then began to comply. One by one, they disclosed their motives and connections, offering cooperation with authorities to mitigate consequences. The Iron Hawks documented everything meticulously, ensuring accountability while maintaining control. The operation showcased the club's discipline and strategic approach. They did not seek chaos, but they enforced their code with precision. By the time law enforcement arrived, the situation was contained, the criminals subdued, and the message unmistakable: the Iron Hawks protected their own. Claire, witnessing the professionalism of the club she was married into, felt a measure of relief and renewed confidence in their unwavering loyalty and capability. In the days following the confrontation, Austin law enforcement publicly acknowledged the Iron Hawks' critical role in resolving the case. The thugs faced legal consequences, aided by the evidence and cooperation secured by the club. Claire, still processing the trauma, began therapy, supported by Marcus and the unwavering presence of trusted club members. The experience, while harrowing, strengthened her resolve and her trust in the Iron Hawks' dedication to family and loyalty. Marcus convened the club for a solemn meeting. "This isn't about revenge," he said, his voice firm. "It's about respect, safety, and protecting our family. We don't start fights, but we finish them when necessary." The members nodded in agreement, a unified front of discipline and loyalty. The incident reinforced the Iron Hawks' commitment to their code: protect those within the Brotherhood, act decisively when threatened, and maintain honor in every action. The community also took notice. Local residents and allies of the club recognized the Iron Hawks not just as bikers, but as a disciplined organization capable of balancing force with responsibility. Claire returned to her daily life, stronger and more confident, knowing she was protected and valued. The club, vigilant and prepared, continued to watch over their members, ready to respond with strategy and precision whenever their family was threatened again. The Iron Hawks' reputation as steadfast guardians of their own remained unshaken.